In this video, I'm going to share with you how to initiate the conversation with healthcare providers when it comes to recording conversations with them. And I'd like to point out that my family did not realize how advantageous these recordings were going to be until we got into the habit of doing so. And then we found all of these benefits, which I'll share in the next video. So even if you're already doing this, which by the way, kudos to you, I recommend watching the next video. It's titled 5 Badass Benefits. And that way you are maximizing the value of your recordings. Now, I always like to share a few call outs before you start recording conversations. Number one, please be sure that you talk to the patient about using this strategy. You want to share with them why you want to record the conversations. And if you're not completely comfortable with explaining the why, feel free to share the lessons from this module. You also want to talk about how you plan to use the recordings. Like I said, in the next video, I'm going to give you 5 badass benefits, but you may come up with more, and that's awesome. You can even use a mind map to brainstorm, but you want to talk through it. And then the last piece is discuss who you plan to share the recordings with. There may be some people, even if they're on the support team, that the patient doesn't want hearing these recordings. And that's okay. That is their right. Remember, this is their health journey, not yours. So you want to make sure that you are fully aligned before you start recording conversations. The other call out that I like to make is before you start recording the doctor, you must ask them for permission first. Now, my family was never denied from recording conversations, and I think that had a lot to do with the setup, which I'm going to share with you in a minute. It also might have something to do with the rapport that we built with the physicians, right? There was a level of trust there. Now, we didn't start recording conversations at the very start of my sister's journey. We didn't figure this out until probably halfway through. So it was never really a new physician, so that might have helped. However, in your case, there may be a new doctor that you are meeting for the first time and you want to record the conversation. I think that's totally fine. I think that's fair, and you can still use this strategy. So let me share with you how you could set it up, and then I'm going to give you some tips. You could say something like, so doctor, before we get started, do you mind if we record this conversation? We have some members of our support team who aren't here today, and we'd like to share with them what is exactly going on. Now, if the physician at that point is nodding their head or they're saying, yeah, sure, okay, you can stop there and start recording. But if they're not really giving you a signal yet and you're getting a feeling that they might say no, then I would give them the second reason why you want to record. And you could say something like, plus, doctor, it really helps us to stay focused on what you're saying. And that way we don't have to worry about taking notes. So now there's some benefit to the physician too, because you will be focused on what they're saying and you're not going to have your head down taking notes, right? Now, one last call out. Recording conversations is not about catching someone or setting them up for a lawsuit, right? We're not trying to see what people are doing wrong. That's not it. This is a powerful advocate tool, and I want you to use it to your advantage so you can get your loved one the best care possible. That is the goal, period. Now, what if the doctor says no? What if you ask if you can record and they say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable. First of all, don't panic. It's okay. So who knows? They might have had a poor experience before, and I just wouldn't let this throw you. The first step I would take is if you haven't explained the why, those 2 reasons I just gave you, then please go ahead and do so. That may change their perspective. But maybe you did do that and they still said no, and that's okay. I would just get out your notebook, which you should always have with you, and take notes. That's always a great backup. Now, in the next lesson, I'm going to share with you the 5 badass benefits that you can use to your advantage when it comes to recording conversations. You will not want to skip that video, so I'll see you there.